All right, back out here at the Mound septic system build. You can see we've already started placing some sand out here. Got the Kubota skid steer, got the little cat, got our lumber for building our gravel bed in the center, and we just got our standpipe into here. So this is our pressure main from the sump tank coming down, and I used 290s in order to get that standpipe coming straight up and down both ways. So that standpipe's plumb. That'll be nice when we come up into the center of our gravel bed. You can see over here on this side, it's plumbed into the sump tank right there. And I just placed some dirt on top of it to hold it steady. For the prep on this mound, per the plan, you need to mow the grass. Mow it as low as you can get it. They don't want you to scrape the grass off with a tractor, because inevitably when you're scraping grass off with a tractor, you're going to be taking some dirt with it. And so at least here where we're at in this county, you need all that soil to stay, because that's all part of the depth of soil and for perk and groundwater separation. So you need that soil to stay. Don't scrape the grass off with the tractor. Mow it really low. When you're done mowing, rake it off. So in this case, we weed whacked low to the ground, raked it off, and weed whacked a second time. So I know it looks grassy, but we mowed it to where we could, you know, get exposed dirt. This is what most of it looked like here, as best as we could. And then we came through here with the ripper shank. I have a little bucket I built for this cat. It has 2 ripper shank teeth, and that allows me to track down and reach out and get good penetration and place those rips at about 10 inches apart from one another. The ripper attachment I have has got rippers about 10 inches apart, and we're trying to rip about 8 to 10 inches deep with the rips. As I'm ripping, I'm trying not to rip and dive it down so much that I'm pulling dirt with the excavator or with the ripper teeth. I'm just trying to get the penetration and rip without dragging any dirt, because we don't want mounds of dirt in here. And once you rip, you don't want to drive over it. You just want to leave it alone until you can start placing sand over the top of the rips. And you do want to place that sand over the top of the rips as soon as possible once it's been ripped. With a mound, you're not to, at least here, we're not supposed to use any wheeled vehicles for sand placement. So we got the Kubota big wide tracks. And Grant's backing down. There's no expansion area above here, so he is backing down just to the top of the rips here, and then he's dumping. And then I'm taking the skid steer and I'm moving that sand into the mound area and spreading it out. So that's the method. And I got to get some dirt back over the top of this. Keep in mind there's a number of different ways to get your pressure main to the center of your mound. This is per plan, the way we got it right now. Having it deep like this as it's coming into the mound, I think the major benefit there is when you go to rip again for your soil placement, that pipe is well below where your rippers are going to be coming through prior to topsoil placement. So but sometimes we run that pressure main up a little shallower, and you know, we'll come into the end of a field almost at grade sometimes. But here at this job, again, per plan. So let's get back to work, get some sand placed, get this backfilled, dump some loads of sand, and try to make some progress here today. just get that truck back down to the rips, but not on the rips. And then dumping just enough where I can spread it out, but not so much where it starts spilling uphill. So sometimes you got to dump 2 or 3 times. So I'm gonna get this little pile spread. He's got one more little bit in there to dump. It's kind of a longer process, but what I'm trying to avoid is that sand getting outside of our sand area. It just makes a mess, a waste of sand. Getting down to our last load or 2 of sand. See, we're dropping it there. We've just been coming in the same route right here, coming down the hill and just backing up to the rips. We even have a piece of 1 1/8" plywood right there. Dump the sand and then I push it out one way or the other. And just something I like to do. Here I have this bottom board that I've put along the perimeter, the downhill edge where the sand toe zeroes out to grade, and it's just kind of helpful for me as I'm grading the sand back and forth to have a little bump stop for that sand to roll up against. It's really kind of just makeshift, just as a bumper board. As soon as we get the sand spread around, I'll be pulling these boards out of here, but it's just going to leave a nice looking edge for the inspection. So let's get to spreading the rest of the sand out. Getting very close. Are getting there. So we got it, most of the sand roughly placed where it needs to be, and I think it's looking pretty good. So we have our lines painted out here, so we're just at the limit where we want to be. Of course, here's our board, or batter board for the sand. Just gives that sand something to splash up against, but that board will be getting removed, and then we will be tapering that sand down to these pink marks out here. And that way we can achieve the full width of the mound as it's designed. So you can see we have like a nice consistent slope, and we have this flat top here, and then the uphill side slope. So it is time to start digging out for the gravel bed here. So what I've done is I've potholed down, and right down here is the top of a wooden stake that I cut off at the elevation of the bottom of the gravel bed. I also transferred that over to a fence post over there, so I got a benchmark on the fence, and it is matching up with my reader stick. So we're gonna get on the excavator and just start hogging this out. We have to dig all this out all the way back to there. We need a little bit of sand down here off of this edge, so that should work perfectly. As I dig this out, we'll have more than enough sand probably here, but let's get to digging. What do you guys think? So I've got this dug out, and the next step for me now is to get my form boards, get them down in here, and build this box. And it seems like that maybe I wouldn't need to form it with wood, and I think for the most part that's true, but by forming this gravel bed with the wood, the 2x8, it's going to give me a really exact top edge to grade off of with the asphalt rake. And since we are shooting for perfection, that's what I'm going to do. And we have a belt truck coming that's going to shoot the gravel into the box, so that should be pretty fun to watch happen as it goes down. Okay, let's get after it. What do you guys think? So we got my guy Dennis down there. He's running the, this is called a belt truck, and it's really handy. I use it a lot. I just like not having to dump the gravel on the ground and scoop it up. It just does a nice clean job. And I think we're just about running out of gravel, unfortunately, but this truck is remote control, so he can just stand there, use his controls, and back up. See, he's driving it right now, nobody's in it. And he can just move that truck around and shoot rock in wherever it's needed. And yeah, so we just ended up a little bit shy on the quantity, but that was the maximum the truck could hold. I'll probably just bring a little bit with me tomorrow in the work truck, get this topped off. And now that we got the form boards in here, I have something nice and sharp to grade up against. So we'll be finishing the grading around the mound. I got all this extra sand over here, so we're gonna grade this out, fatten up this downhill side, extend that sand toe to the limits of where it needs to be. And yeah, So it's looking really nice. Some nice curvature to it. I think that looks pretty sharp. You can see we're a little bit low on sand here. No problem, we got extra sand, we got all kinds of sand. So yeah, looking good. Makes it pretty handy before store hours anyway. Maybe not so perfect on the inside, but still a nice truck. Okay, let's get going. This little load of rock in here, gonna get this last bit filled up. All right, so the next thing I got to do in terms of priorities, the way I see it, is I need to dig down and find my standpipe that we pre-installed earlier in this video. That's our pressure main from the sump tank, and it should be right here. So this gravel bed is 80 feet in length, and so hopefully, we'll see how good I did, but hopefully we'll find it at 40 feet right here in the center. So let's get to digging and see if we can find this. right, so balancing valves are plumbed, purge end assemblies are plumbed. I do need to grab the plugs to screw into the tops here, but I'm gonna purge it out. Get all the pipe debris, little fragments, dirt, anything that's left in the pipe, get that out, and then I'll put those caps on. But we'll do that after we pass our water tightness inspection. I have to drill the perforations in these laterals. Per this plan, it's a 1/8 inch drill bit, hole spaced 36 inches on center. And they're gonna be staggered. So on one side, we're gonna go 36 inches out and start drilling. Then on the other side, we're gonna go 18 inches out and start drilling. That way, the orifices are staggered in the gravel bed. So let's get to it. We did it, passed our inspection. So I don't know if you saw from the time lapse, but the squirt was running. They got about a 9-foot squirt out of that. That was that particular engineer's first pump calc that he did. He did a great job on that. So just walk you around this guy. That's what that purge assembly looks like. So that'll be inside of an Orenco riser. Got the side of this puppy all raked out, looking good. Alright, so this is an orifice shield, and it's built by Orenco. You can get different sizes. This orifice shield is for 1 1/4 inch pipe. So that's where the pipe goes, just snaps right in there. And this just protects the orifice, prevents aggregate from, or any small gravel fines from blocking the orifice. They just snap right on really easy. Alright, you guys get to see the belt truck in action. I like using this truck just because I don't have to dump that gravel on the ground and scoop off the ground and tear up all the ground everywhere, running the skid steer all over the place. The belt truck is gone, the gravel is here. It's looking really good. Got a slight little mound to it. And it is the end of my day and the end of my week, and it's going to be the end of this video. But I want you guys to stay tuned because next part of the project is stripping the grass off, generating that soil cover, and backfilling over the top of this mound. It's going to be a lot of me and the dozer. We're going to use the water trailer to just put a little bit of moisture back in the dirt, not trying to compact it so much as just to keep the dust down. So we'll be doing that. And thanks for watching. Hope you guys picked up on some useful tips maybe. If you guys have comments, please comment below. Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And give me a thumbs up. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.